The crowd was horrified to witness a man come back to life after being killed. Someone screamed in panic, likening him to a resurrected god. A nearby person tried to explain, asserting that this was due to the resurrection system, a hidden rule within the game round. A pragmatic mind began to speculate. If the dead can be resurrected, is killing within this round really forbidden? Another group started to embrace this idea, believing that if killing had no long-term consequences, it might be acceptable. A young girl stored in memory, name unknown, stepped forward to calm the chaotic crowd, trying to call for everyone to stay calm. But as soon as she spoke, the girl was suddenly stabbed from behind. Blood splattered everywhere, and her body collapsed amid the horror of those around her. The chaos continued to spread. Someone screamed and then rushed in a frenzy of slaughter. Blood spilled everywhere, screams echoing throughout the white space. A man holding iron claws stood there panting, his hands and shirt soaked in blood. His eyes showed shock and regret. Some people panicked, shouting for the girl to come back to life. Hope arose among them that she would resurrect like the man before. Everyone silently watched the girl's body, faces filled with panic and despair. But as time passed, there was still no sign of resurrection. The brown-haired girl gradually woke up, moving her arm and lifting her head, while everyone was astonished to see her revive after 10 minutes. Realizing something, she screamed in terror, her eyes panicked as if recalling the moment she was killed. She knelt on the ground, angrily shouting, demanding to know who attacked her from behind. A young brown-haired man with bloodied claws appeared behind her and roared, declaring that he was the one who struck. As she turned around, a fierce slash from another mysterious man, wearing a fur cloak, suddenly cut down the assassin, killing him instantly. The assassin's blood-soaked body lay on the ground. The cold man confirmed the theory. Yes, they will resurrect after 10 minutes. The crowd fell silent, stunned by the violent act and the spreading chaotic atmosphere. Ryu Min, observing from afar, reasoned that although resurrection was proven possible, killing still made many uncomfortable. However, he emphasized, when caught in a frenzy, people tend to reveal their true nature. Indeed, someone screamed in rage and charged at others, blood continuing to spill amid the chaotic whirlpool. A muscular man shouted, "Die," and rushed to attack. A silver-haired young man retreated defensively, eyes clear amid the chaotic battle. He exclaimed, "You've all gone mad." A brown-haired young man severely stabbed another player. The stabbed man clutched his stomach, groaning, "Bastard!" while the culprit hurriedly apologized, explaining he bore no grudge. Severely injured, the angry man shouted, "Then taste your own medicine," and fiercely counterattacked. He kept yelling, "You'll resurrect anyway, so just die already." In panic and anger, he continued attacking. "Then why won't you just die?" The slash was fierce, accompanied by the victim's painful scream. The battle turned into a mad whirlwind. Players lunged at each other like beasts, weapons flying, blood splattering everywhere. A massacre among thousands was unfolding. No sign of reason remained, only primal violence. Someone was strangled, weapons stained with blood. Another silver-haired player, blindfolded, slashed repeatedly without reason. Amid the bloody scene, a hand appeared. It was Ryu Min's black scythe. Blood dripped from his arm as his cold eyes observed. Black Scythe walked through the whirlwind of madness, his blood-soaked scythe swirling around him like a part of his body. He said coldly, "Then I shall begin to act." The appearance of Black Scythe caused the battlefield to halt. 3 players turned around, stunned as they recognized, it's Black Scythe." Without a word, Ryu Min's bloodied slash tore through space, marking the beginning of a bloody wrath from the Grim Reaper wielding the Black Scythe. Black Scythe unleashed a swirling sickle strike, creating a wide cutting circle that swept up blood and death energy. All enemies around were slashed away in terror. After the massacre, Black Scythe stood silently among the corpses, his hand still gripping the bloodied sickle. The crowd began to retreat, fearful of his cold brutality. 3 new players, one blonde, one black-haired, and one wielding a spear, looked at each other, gripping their weapons tightly. Their bodies trembled, but their eyes showed clear determination. All 3 charged simultaneously, shouting, "Now is our chance!" They hoped a surprise attack would help them turn the tide against Black Scythe. However, Black Scythe had already detected them. With the skill presence detection, he easily counterattacked, defeating all 3 before they could reach him. In another corner, a man wielding an axe madly black flame dragon was killing without hesitation, roaring, "Die! All of you die!" Ryu Min Black Scythe looked toward him, reflecting. In his mind, he confirmed, yes, this is the perfect stage for Black Flame Dragon. With the absorption rune in hand, Black Flame Dragon grew stronger with every kill. He was like a fish in water, each fallen life added to his stats. Just by looking at how deep red his name was, Ryu Min estimated he had killed about 10 people. Despite resurrection ability, he would surely need to use the retire skill multiple times. Black Flame Dragon laughed maniacally as his stats soared. "This is the biggest score of my life," he shouted, activating the Absorption Rune interface, a treasure that accumulates damage points from enemies and grants random stats. Black Flame Dragon wildly swung his axe, slashing another player mercilessly. Blood splattered, and his eyes gleamed with savage pleasure. He screamed, "Die!" repeatedly like a madman, each strike landing on enemies with uncontrollable brutality. The Absorption Rune glowed intensely. He noticed the accumulation speed increasing rapidly, suspecting these victims were a fairly high level. He sneered, analyzing that one among them was of comparable level to himself, yet the rune still reacted strongly. This made him even more excited. Black Flame Dragon's crazed gaze shifted toward Black Scythe. He imagined that killing Black Scythe would cause a massive stat spike. Yet reason held him back. He thought silently, getting involved with someone that's strong could bring disaster upon me. He turned away, targeting easier prey. He was determined to continue exterminating weaker players to level up as fast as possible. He mercilessly attacked another terrified player, blood splattering everywhere. The other begged, claiming no grudge, but it was useless. Black Flame Dragon killed many more. In his eyes, these people were just stress relief tools. Their lives meant nothing. An angry player, eyes flashing with killing intent, shouted in rage at the existence of that mad killer. A grudge was slowly forming. The bloodthirsty butcher looked around the chaotic battlefield with a satisfied smile. He was convinced this round was made for him. Another player approached from behind, but the butcher was ready. He prepared to raise his axe in response. While others gained nothing from killing, he was different. With the Absorption Rune in hand, every life helped him grow stronger. Each of his slashes emitted a brilliant energy. The Absorption Rune glowed, marking his stats continuing to soar. Meanwhile, other players like the girl in the blue shirt and the young ones kept resurrecting in despair. They became easy prey for him. The butcher approached from behind the girl in blue, raising his axe high, smirking. "Is there any better opportunity than this?" He muttered, calculating the number of people he had killed. His goal was to top the leaderboard, so he decided, kill as many as possible. Just as he was thinking about his next move, a figure silently approached. The butcher startled and turned around, eyes wary. The one who appeared was Black Scythe. He stood proudly with his giant scythe, his cold gaze seeming to have already sealed the other's fate. Black Scythe activated the skill, Night of Death. The sky immediately darkened. The butcher was stunned, while everywhere people panicked, not understanding what was happening. Black Flame Dragon panicked upon realizing Black Scythe's scythe had turned semi-transparent, an ominous sign that put him on high alert. A powerful, glowing red slash tore through space, scattering blood in the dark night, signaling Black Scythe's devastating counterattack. Black Scythe appeared amid the bloody whirlwind, his scythe still glowing red, while his enemy seemed unable to react in time. "Ha!" was all he could utter. In a desperate moment, Black Flame Dragon realized he was going to die. Every thought in his mind was a confession he shouldn't have messed with Black Scythe. Another fierce battle erupted, the sounds of slashing and killing ringing continuously amid the mad life-and-death chaos. The chaotic battle scene engulfed the battlefield. Shouts, curses, and blood spilled everywhere. Players were frantically slaughtering each other for survival. A man suddenly witnessed a girl fall to the ground from a sitting position. She had just resurrected after dying. The man was surprised to confirm the girl had truly resurrected, just as the hidden rule stated. Players come back to life after 10 minutes. He smiled coldly. The resurrection mechanism opened an opportunity. He could kill as many times as he wanted without regret. This new killer began to kindle a thirst for blood. He saw this as a chance for revenge and to kill all who had betrayed him, another madman ready to join the fray. In the chaotic battlefield, a man shouted loudly, searching for Kim Seung-hun. Amid screams and bloodshed, he roared, "Kim Seung-hun, where are you?" A smirk appeared on that man's face. He had spotted his target, Kim Seung-hun. A player with brown hair wielding a bow mocked the trembling opponent before him just because of a stat reduction. His name was Hwang-yang. Kim Seung-hun suddenly ran over, waving and calling Hwang-yang in a friendly manner. Hwang-yang was surprised, calling his name cautiously. Immediately, Seung-hun delivered a spinning kick to Hwang-yang's face, shouting, "Just in time to meet you, bastard." Hwang-yang was flung far away, screaming in pain and dizziness. Lying sprawled on the ground, Hwang-yang tried to cover his face, groaning in pain. But Kim Seung-hun's anger was not yet satisfied. Kim Seung-hun grabbed Hwang-yang's collar, recalling an old threat. "You said you'd kill me if we met again, right?" With a mad smile, Seung-hun challenged, "Then why don't you try killing me now?" A series of pounding sounds echoed over the blood-red background. Hwang-yang screamed in pain. The revenge fight had officially begun. Hwang-yang leaned back, breathing a sigh of relief after venting his anger on Kim Seung-hun. On the ground, Kim Seung-hun lay motionless, bloodied, ending the brutal torture session. Still enraged, Hwang-yang stood up straight, his bloodthirsty gaze sweeping across the battlefield. He sneered contemptuously and growled, challenging those who had betrayed him. "Where are you bastards?" In the blood-red scene illuminated by weapons light, bodies fell across the battlefield. A question echoed in the mind. If there is a hell, would it look like this? The shout, "Die!" rang out. Warriors charged at each other with fierce killing intent. A young man swung a sickle down from above, while a silver-haired knight pierced an enemy with his spear. Blood flowed, people fell. The battlefield was nothing but a mad massacre. In the midst of it, a female swordsman, cohort, gasped for breath, still gripping her sword hilt tightly, trying to stay calm. A knight in blue and white armor, Mr. Bodyguard, approached and asked, "Miss Arin, are you okay?" Arin forced a smile, admitting that her body was fine, but her spirit was in crisis. Mr. Bodyguard silently observed. In his mind, he told himself he could still handle it, but Arin was the real problem. If she lost control, he couldn't explain anything to the CEO. Mr. Bodyguard's sharp eyes briefly showed worry. He sensed something unusual and immediately switched to a defensive stance. Suddenly, a rough hand grabbed Arin's hair from behind. Before she could react, she was pulled back in pain and fear. A muscular man shouted "Die!" while swinging a knife to finish off Arin. Arin's face was filled with extreme panic, her hands still clutching the sword hilt. From behind, Mr. Bodyguard appeared like lightning, blocking in front of Arin and launching a counterattack. He coldly replied, "Not that easy." Mr. Bodyguard's blade slashed horizontally, cutting off the attack. The attacker was thrown back, while Arin was safely held in his arms. A hand tightened around the sword hilt. Light flashed as the blade was drawn from its sheath, signaling a decisive attack was about to begin. The knight in blue armor delivered a fatal blow, piercing straight through the enemy, blood splattering everywhere. Arin witnessed the entire scene with a stunned gaze. The attacker collapsed, clutching his head in pain. The blue-armored knight called out to Arin, warning her of the danger. Arin stared at the bloodied sword in her hand. Fear and confusion were clearly visible on her face. She lowered her eyes slightly, still gripping the sword hilt tightly. Her mind was filled with unease and confusion amid the chaotic scene. Her long hair flew as Arin hurriedly ran away, escaping the massacre scene as if trying to flee all the mental pressure weighing on her. She knelt on the battlefield, right beside the bodies of enemies and her bodyguard. A sword was deeply planted into the ground, as if sealing the end of a life. Arin burst into tears. Meanwhile, the bodyguard stood beside her, thinking, no matter what, she completed everything assigned to her. Arin asked, "How much longer do we have to keep fighting like this?" The bodyguard answered coldly but realistically, "Maybe another hour." She choked out, "Just watching this hurts me inside. I don't understand why everyone just wants to kill each other like this." The blue-armored bodyguard clenched his fist, his mind full of disappointment. He thought Arin was too weak, just a pampered flower. Still, he softened his tone with Arin, suggesting she rest after having taken down 50 enemies, an impressive number in this battle. He turned away, saying that number was enough for her to be on the leaderboard. "Leave the rest to us," he said. Arin whispered her thanks. In his heart, the bodyguard thought he was the one who should be grateful. The girl he once thought weak could now fight on her own without his guidance. Now he could fully focus on his own kill count, charging forward in the front line. With less than 11 minutes remaining before the battle round ends, the battlefield remained chaotic. Fighters continuously hacked and slashed to secure their rankings. Among them, a young man in a black cloak, a new face, observed the remaining time. Calmly, he sighed. Round 4 is always exhausting. But as danger approached, he acted instantly. His blazing red eyes flashed, his body gliding like a shadow. Without hesitation, he swept his blood-red scythe across enemies, creating a fiery whirlpool of blood. He knew exactly what he needed, not the reward, but to advance to round 20. Under the red glow of his skill, the young man spun, wielding his powerful scythe, sweeping away enemies blocking his path with determination to break through. The young man in the black cloak rampaged across the battlefield, targeting weaker foes fleeing in panic. In his mind, he considered the unpredictable power of the final boss. He knew only superior strength could guarantee survival, so he had to become even stronger. A panicked enemy called him Black, terrified when facing the cold, blazing red eyes of the harbinger of death. The young man in the black cloak delivered a critical strike from midair, forcing the enemy to fall into despair. The lucky survivor breathed a sigh of relief, thinking he had escaped the Reaper's scythe. However, the young man in the black cloak paid no attention to those already defeated. To him, killing the same person again was meaningless. Round 4's rules were based not on kill count, but on target diversity. In this round, to rank high, one must not only kill many, but also eliminate many different people. Repeatedly killing the same enemy brought no value. He acted decisively, constantly switching targets. His scythe strikes cut through enemies in the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, another muscular man continuously shouted, killing his acquaintances repeatedly at the same spot, with a proud and brutal expression. The young man in the black cloak watched with disgust. That crazy man foolishly killed 3 gang members. With this approach, they would not survive this harsh death round. The mad strongman kept killing his friends without hesitation. Nearby, a brown-haired young man observed him with cold, calculating eyes. The strong man shouted to his comrades, "Respawn quickly," killing them as soon as they revived, leaving no chance to fight back. 1 minute remained before the round ended. Black realized there was only 1 minute left. With little time remaining, he had to maximize point collection as much as possible. A gray-haired youth smiled brightly, proudly announcing he had killed someone. Another tightened his grip on a bloodied corpse, silently thinking, "That one too," his face tense as if counting every life he had taken. The brown-haired young man looked at a stranger and confirmed it was the first time he had seen him, a new target to score points. He knew time was tight and prepared to strike quickly, but at that moment, something made him freeze. A powerful slash, soaked in deadly intent, pierced through his body. Black had struck from behind with unpredictable speed. Black stood in the arena, his body enveloped in golden light along with many others, signaling the end of the 4th round. The entire field lit up with resurrection beams. Survivors and revived players stood up one by one within the light. The new round was about to begin. An angel with golden hair and huge white wings appeared amid the dazzling light. She giggled and mockingly asked, "Did everyone enjoy killing each other?" Players gradually revived within the golden light. Their faces revealed horror and anger after what had transpired. Ryu Min, with cold eyes, retorted to the angel, "We kill people no different from ourselves. How could we find joy in that?" The angel still wore a mocking smile, looking at the pool of blood on the floor, and exclaimed, "Oh, the blood is so dirty. This clean place has now become a battlefield." The angel continued her sarcasm. "Anyway, thanks for trying so hard to kill each other." The angel declared she would resurrect all players who died to summarize the round's results. Ryu Min smiled quietly, understanding that it was actually the system doing this, not her. A recently resurrected player was amazed to see his body healed by the golden light enveloping him. Many other players also began to revive across the battlefield. Some woke up confused, others looked around in panic. A player wearing a moss-green vest, Hwang Yangmin, woke up, staring at his hand in amazement as he felt life return. Immediately, another player ran up in fury, shouting, "Hwang Yangmin, you bastard! I'll kill you!" revealing a deep grudge from betrayal or killing each other in the previous round. An angry player pointed at Hwang Yangmin, yelling that he was worse than Cho Jungsik. Meanwhile, the angel standing afar smirked disdainfully, uttering mocking words. The angel instantly turned cold, ordering everyone to be silent or risk having their heads blown off. Faced with the threat, the crowd fell silent. The angel smiled with satisfaction and began announcing that the round results would be revealed after everyone was resurrected. The angel paused briefly, then remembered something important. The subquest for this round needed to be announced first. She mocked the players for not knowing that every round had a subquest, then flicked her hand to display the information on the screen. The subquest board appeared. Eliminate the zone representative within the time limit. The reward was a token for the lowest level mana draw. A player was shocked to learn the subquest was to kill the zone rep. The angel confirmed and announced that only one person in this area had completed that task. The entire arena turned to look at Ryu Min, nicknamed Black Scythe. They whispered, confirming he was the one who killed Hwang Yangmin at the start of the round. A disheveled-haired player wearing a black fur coat gritted his teeth in anger for not knowing this quest beforehand. He regretted missing the chance to be the one to complete the subquest. He bowed his head in disappointment, silently thinking, "If only I had killed Hwang Yangmin earlier." Meanwhile, others looked on with regret and envy toward Ryu Min. A player was stunned to discover he had been killed by Black Scythe. Shock was evident on his face as he looked at the information board. He checked his temporary skills and realized he had nothing left. The command tokens he once possessed had also disappeared. Black Scythe, calm and sharp, promised to help others avoid being targeted. However, the other person was full of suspicion. "He stole my zone rep title after all." The blonde angel continued speaking, hinting at a new topic, the scoring mechanism and final rankings. The rules were announced. Players were ranked based on the number of unique individuals they had eliminated. Killing the same person multiple times did not accumulate value. The crowd was confused by this rule. Many still thought that killing as many as possible was enough, but the angel quickly mocked that naivety. The angel clapped her hands, ending the explanation and preparing to announce the official results of Round 4. The results appeared clearly. Overall rank 1 in all zones. Black Scythe, LV30 Grim Reap, 722 kills. Rank 2, Stupid Idiots, LV13 Shaman, 521 kills. Rank 3, Heavenly Demon, LV13 Dark Knight, 433 kills. In Zone ESKS 45-5, Rank 1, Black Scythe, 722 kills. Rank 2, Cute Baby Bird, LV11 Warrior, 211 kills. Rank 3, On Sanctual, LV11 Knight, 209 kills. The angel smiled smugly, showing delight at the bloody developments and results of the round. Black Scythe stood coldly watching, while the angel was surprised that he had claimed first place once again. The results of round 4 were announced. Black Scythe leads all regions with 722 kills. Following are Stupid Idiots and Heavenly Demon. In the ESKS 45-5 zone, Black Scythe continues to hold first place. The supervising angel showed a delighted surprise. He exclaimed, seemingly unable to believe that Black Scythe had maintained the top position once again. Black Scythe, with a cold face and sharp eyes, stood silently, facing the angel's implicit praise without flinching. He opened the reward board. A medium-level armor selection ticket appeared before him. This was the perfect time to change equipment. The chosen equipment was the blood-red assassin suit, a rare armor set with enhanced agility and attack speed stats. The scent of blood still lingered on the armor. Not stopping there, a special reward was unlocked for Black Scythe. 3 options appeared on the board: a 50% stat buff, 5,000 gold, or information about round 5. Black Scythe considered carefully. He knew round 5 had very attractive side rewards, but was also full of risks and higher difficulty. After a moment of thought, he chose the 50% stat buff, a reasonable choice to survive and gain an advantage in the next round. The supervising angel repeated a harsh rule. Players ranked 52 and below in the zone would be completely eliminated. Bad news spread. 30 people were tied at rank 52. The system coldly announced that all of them would be ruthlessly eliminated. The angel, with a joyful expression, declared, "Now is the time to begin the extermination." Her smile and wild laughter made the atmosphere even more chilling. Players outside the top rankings began to be wiped out. They panicked as their bodies were burned from within by golden light. Some of them tried to beg for mercy from the angel. Despair was clear on their faces as death approached. Each player was swallowed by the light amid screams and pleas. Even when they knelt down begging for help, all pleas were meaningless. On Sanchial, formerly a zone representative, was lucky to be among the survivors. He sighed amid lingering panic. "I survived, almost got wiped out." Many other players continued to cry out in despair. A girl held her head screaming. A blonde knight stood silently beside her, witnessing the brutal scene. Black Scythe remained silent amid the chaos. He showed no mercy or concern for those being eliminated. When the bell rang, Black Scythe's eyes gradually became serious. He was ready for the upcoming challenges. An announcement appeared. Round 4 ended. Only over 90 million survivors remained across the system, with 521 left in Zone ESKS 45-5. The scene shifted to the Imperial Hotel, where players' souls would return to their bodies in the real world. The silence sharply contrasted with the tragedy that had just occurred. The sound of hurried footsteps echoed in the dark corridor. Someone was rushing. A man in a black suit burst into the room with a panicked face, shouting loudly, "Sir!" On the bed, a gray-haired young man, shirtless, was faintly waking up with soft groans. He sat up, placed his hand on his head, looked toward the person who had just rushed in, and asked, "Manager on?" Ma Jeongrok, the gray-haired young man, looked at his colleague suspiciously, doubting the reason for his sudden appearance. Manager on explained that he couldn't reach him, and entered the room on his own out of fear that something bad had happened. Ma Jeongrok chuckled softly, full of confidence. He reassured, "You think I'd die in round 4? Didn't you see the leaderboard?" Manager On admitted he saw Ma Jeongrok ranked high, but was still worried because round 4 was insane. Jeongrok shared that he fainted from mental exhaustion as soon as he returned to the room, emphasizing how brutal the last round was. He pondered about Black Scythe, the top of the leaderboard, and doubted whether that character was still human. Manager On thought he might be a South Korean Special Forces soldier. The gray-haired young man sat silently, repeating a name in his mind, Black Scythe. He increasingly admired that person to the point of wanting to cooperate with him. That thought made him decide he must find the prophet to ask about Black Scythe's true identity. Manager On interrupted the conversation, expressing admiration for the accuracy of the prophecy about round 4. He himself had doubted until he witnessed it firsthand. They both confirmed round 4 was not a monster hunt but a massacre among players. A new character, a blonde man wearing a brown suit, was shocked by the concept of a massacre. The black-haired man confirmed it was a disaster where players killed each other. He emphasized, one must always stay vigilant. Back in the hotel room, Manager On asked, "What do you intend to do with Ryu Min, the so-called prophet, who now holds 31% of the company's shares?" The gray-haired young man calmly replied, "Ryu Min is the largest shareholder. The company is now in his hands. He has no power at all." Manager On probed further. "Will you really shift the company's direction according to his advice?" The gray-haired man, putting on his shirt, answered, "What's wrong with that? The company can grow because of it." He continued, eyes fixed on the brightly lit window, "The most important thing is to have him on our side. Don't underestimate him just because he's young." Standing before the glass door, the gray-haired young man reflected. He stressed that although he disliked Ryu Min's behavior, they still had to praise and indulge him to gain benefits. He smiled slyly, calling Ryu-min a honeypot of a seer, a sweet bargain, affirming the need to fully exploit the benefits from him. Manager An nodded obediently, pledging to be more cautious in dealing with Ryu-min from now on. The gray-haired man immediately ordered, "Good, call him right now." Manager An hesitated, asking what to say. The man said to invite Ryu-min to tonight's party to celebrate survival. He also instructed to invite his family if he had one. Manager An asked if Seo Arin should be invited too. With a half-smile, the man confirmed, "We need a celebrity by our side right now, don't we?" The scene shifted to daytime. On the sidewalk near a cafe, Ryu-min was holding his phone, receiving a call, his face confused. Ryu-min waved his hand, calling out loudly, "Here," when he saw his girlfriend approaching. The black-haired girl happily greeted Ryu-min. She said he looked fine, and he gently responded with a compliment. She teased Ryu-min about planning lunch. Ryu-min laughed, saying he wanted to celebrate surviving. He insisted he would treat. The girl happily agreed, saying she would take advantage of having a rich friend. Ryu-min's red supercar sped down the road, carrying a light but meaningful atmosphere for an upcoming conversation. Sitting in the car with Ryu-min, the black-haired girl thanked him for the prophecy that helped her survive round 4. Ryu-min, still clear-headed, gently retorted, "Don't you think I might be lying?" The girl smiled sincerely, replying that she trusted him because he had no reason to lie. Ryu-min silently appreciated that trust. The girl affirmed that without the reminder to kill at least 30 people, she would have died. In Ryu-min's mind, he thought she didn't need to be so grateful. Ryu-min reflected that even without the warning, she would have survived thanks to the rune of protection. She was smart and resourceful, qualities he admired. Compared to Seo Arin, who was like a flower protected in a greenhouse, this girl was like a wild grass surviving in a harsh environment. The two stopped in front of the traditional restaurant, Yeom. The atmosphere seemed to signal a rare peaceful moment amid the storm of the survival game. Ryu-min politely invited her to eat. The girl bowed in response. The meal was not just about enjoyment, it was a symbol of survival. Ryu-min silently wondered how many times this girl had thanked him. Holding chopsticks, he smiled lightly, but his mind was full of thoughts. The girl hesitated, feeling tormented inside. She wondered if a killer like herself deserved this peaceful moment, even though she came only because of Ryu-min's invitation. During the meal, Ryu-min noticed Juri did not touch her food and gently asked why. He understood that guilt still weighed heavily on her. Juri reluctantly replied that she was unwell, and Ryu-min guessed correctly. The obsession with killing still haunted her. He tried to comfort her, advising not to blame herself because that was the only way to survive in harsh circumstances. Juri was about to object, but Ryu-min continued, emphasizing that not only she but everyone had been forced to act. She burst into tears, expressing her torment, no matter what she had killed people. But Ryu-min interrupted, not wanting her to continue self-destructing. Ryu-min's voice became firm. He asked, if something similar happened again, would they just let it be? What about their families? Memories of his younger brother appeared in Ryu-min's mind. Family was the reason he could not fall. Ryu-min's reminder startled Juri into remembering her family, especially her father. She imagined her father holding her with tears. If she didn't wake up, how much pain he would feel. Juri clenched her hand, admitting Ryu-min was right. She had forgotten the reason she fought until today. It was family. She bowed her head, sincerely thanking Ryu-min for helping her face and overcome her obsession. Ryu-min smiled, encouraging Juri to quickly enjoy the meal to forget the guilt. Juri responded with a gentle smile and agreement. As they began eating, Juri felt the deliciousness revive her after the stresses of round 4. Ryu-min was happy to see her feel lighter. The scene outside the window cast warm light into the room. Juri expressed sincere thanks. Thank you for the meal, Min. Ryu-min was surprised because this was the first time Juri called him without using his last name. Juri asked permission to call him familiarly from now on, and Ryu-min agreed without hesitation. Ryu-min thought Juri seemed better, so he decided to switch to the main topic, sharing important information about round 5. Juri was surprised when hearing about round 5 and immediately asked if Ryu-min had seen the future. Ryu-min confirmed it. He warned that round 5 would be the toughest challenge ever and revealed an important event, the merging of zones. Juri was surprised and happy, asking if that meant she could meet Ryu-min again in the next round. Ryu-min gave an ambiguous answer, saying they would not meet in round 5, though he knew they would, but he needed to hide his true identity. He thought to keep his identity secret when meeting her. In a serious tone, Ryu-min began sharing something important. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say. Ryu-min warned that round 5 would be extremely difficult and might cause Juri to fail. However, he also hinted that there was still one way. Ryu-min's answer appeared in memory, a powerful image of Black Scythe emerging in the darkness. He was the only hope. Ryu Min looked straight at Juri and advised her to seek Black Scythe's help. The image of Black Scythe flashed like a shadow over that decision. Juri was utterly shocked upon hearing the name Black Scythe. Unable to believe Ryu Min's suggestion was to meet the most dangerous and mysterious player among them. Juri was stunned and asked again, unable to believe that Ryu Min wanted her to seek help from Black Scythe in round 5. Ryu Min clarified. He was not telling Juri to beg for help but to cooperate with Black Scythe, forming a temporary alliance to survive. He emphasized that it was the only way to get through the upcoming brutal round, despite the huge power gap. Juri was worried, doubting whether Black Scythe, a level 30 player, would accept cooperation with someone as weak as her. But Ryu Min reassured her. She had valuable buff skills, and Black Scythe needed her too. It would be a mutually beneficial relationship. Still, Juri could not hide her unease. She doubted whether with just a support skill, she was worthy of cooperation. Ryu Min smiled, firmly stating that Juri's buff was not ordinary. It was a special skill, very useful in battle. He continued to reassure her, affirming that Black Scythe would definitely want to cooperate with her, not only in this round, but also in the following ones. Ryu Min revealed more. He had seen that happen in the future, so she didn't need to worry too much. Hearing this, Juri gradually trusted him and gave a slight smile. She confirmed again, still surprised. Really? Juri thanked Ryu Min for sharing valuable information. She smiled softly, saying it was natural because they were friends. Suddenly, Juri suggested Min give her his hand a little, with a mischievous and friendly expression. She gently touched Min's hand, transmitting a shining green energy, like a reward in return for his help. The light enveloped Ryu Min's body. He calmly accepted the buff, his eyes still sharp but shining with trust. Ryu Min smiled sincerely and thanked Juri for that special gift. Inwardly, Ryu Min knew very well that Juri, with her personality of not owing anyone, would definitely give him a buff. And as predicted, she did. The status board appeared. The skill Bless increased all stats by 50%. Additionally, with 100 mealworms killed, Rune of Slaughter increased by another 100%. Back home, Ryu Min, now Black Scythe, sat down. He knew clearly he possessed both powerful buffs at the same time. He called up the status board to check his stats. The display showed: name, Ryu Min. Nickname, Black Scythe. Level, 30 class, Grim Reaper. Strength, 93 intelligence, 111 agility, 105 luck, 84. Surprised by the high luck stat of 84, Min thought silently that with this luck, item draws would be very promising. He took out the lowest rank mana stone draw token, knowing good chances were in his hands. While many would pray to draw good items, Ryu Min just calmly sat on the chair, holding the draw token, ready to face fate in his own way. With a contemptuous smile, Ryu Min flatly denied begging the gods, those he hated for imposing the survival game on humanity. The angelic announcer appeared amid dazzling light, declaring the start of the game, a monthly ritual where humans are sent to another dimension to survive 20 rounds. Ryu Min recalled the scene of 1.8 billion people caught in the brutal game. He was convinced it was the gods' conspiracy, who staged everything like a cold-blooded play. With cold eyes, Ryu Min swore that if he survived to the final round, where all wishes are granted, he would use it to destroy the one who created the game. Not praying but full of hatred, Ryu Min used the item draw token, hoping for a surprising result from his luck. The system announced he had drawn 5 low-level mana stones, the maximum amount possible. A great success thanks to the high luck stat. Ryu Min laughed, feeling ironic that the more he cursed the gods, the luckier he became. He realized he possessed rare fortune. Without hesitation, he began merging 2 low-level mana stones, hoping to upgrade the item quality to prepare for the next round. The merging process was successful. Ryu Min crafted a red low-rank mana stone, a higher-level mana stone, ready for the next strategic steps. Ryu Min combined 2 mana stones of the same color and ranked to craft a higher-level stone. A swirling light around the red stone emitted powerful energy. He continued combining 2 purple stones, one gifted by Cohort and one newly drawn. The result was successful, creating a low-rank purple mana stone. Ryu Min attached the red stone to the assassin's hood, increasing damage. The effect displayed, damage plus 2%. He repeated the process with other equipment. The dark gloves gained all stats plus 2%, and the resistance ring increased, luck plus 2. The sharp long boots were improved, increasing agility plus 2. Each piece of equipment now maximized its hidden power. Ryu Min removed the blue stone from the hunter's armor and attached it to the blood-red assassin's cloak. This equipment now had an additional effect, damage reduction plus 1%. All mana stones had been used wisely. Ryu Min smiled contentedly, confident that the price paid for the buff from Min Juri was worth it. Night fell. He knew he needed to prepare for the meeting with Ma Jeongrok. An important turning point awaited. In a quiet moment, Ryu-min recounted everything to his younger brother. His brother's naive expression showed disbelief at what he was about to hear. His brother was amazed to learn that the CEO of the company Ryu-min invested in was the heir to the Osung conglomerate. Ryu-min confirmed he was invited to the party as a future partner. Ryu-min realized that combining mana stones of the same color and rank would create a higher-level type. He began experimenting on the red stone. He continued combining the purple stone gifted by Cohort with a new one, successfully upgrading it to a purple low-rank mana stone. Then Ryu-min tried combining mana stones with equipment, starting with the hood, which increased damage by 2%. The experiment continued. The gloves received plus 2% to all stats, and the ring gained plus 2 luck points. Finally, the long boots received plus 2 agility points, completing the enhancement of all equipment. Ryu-min removed the blue stone from the hunter's armor and attached it to the assassin's outfit, increasing damage reduction by 1%. After using all the mana stones, Ryu-min felt satisfied with the benefits gained from exchanging information for buffs. He was ready to enter the meeting with Ma Jeongrok, his next target in the plan. The next morning, Ryu-min's younger brother was still shocked to learn he would attend the party. Ryu-min reassured him that family members were also invited. The two prepared to leave home when a servant came to pick them up. Ryu-min was cold but decisive as he led his brother out of the apartment. Ryu-min and his brother Ryu-won entered the hotel lobby with An Sang-cheol, their guide in a black suit. They were greeted by a surprising call from afar. The two brothers looked in surprise toward the caller. It was a familiar figure that made Ryu-min stop in his tracks. Ma Jeongrok, CEO of Heavenly Demon Consulting, stood at the door, smiling confidently and saying it was good to see Ryu-min still alive. Ryu-min responded politely. When asked about his companion, he introduced, "This is my younger brother, Ryu-won." Ma Jeongrok warmly shook Ryu-won's hand and introduced himself. Ryu-won was embarrassed but politely greeted back. Ma Jeongrok asked if Ryu-won was a player. The boy quickly shook his head in denial, and Ryu-min said his brother was only 14 years old. Ma Jeongrok showed mild envy when mentioning that Ryu-won was lucky to avoid the survival game just because he was 1 year younger. Though verbally envious, Ma Jeongrok's eyes were not simple. Meanwhile, Ryu-min smirked silently, full of meaning. Ma Jeongrok signaled for the group to move inside. He said the party was small but ready to begin. The four, Ryu-min, Ryu-won, An Sang-cheol, and Ma Jeongrok, proceeded deeper inside, where the intimate party awaited. The banquet room was prepared with a long table covered in a white cloth, delicately arranged food. A waiter and a chef were completing the final preparations. A close-up of the table showed many premium dishes such as grilled meat with wine sauce, lobster, desserts, and wine, demonstrating thoughtfulness and luxury. 2 staff members, a waiter and a chef, bowed politely, ready to welcome the honored guests. Ryu-min and his younger brother Ryu-won entered the banquet room. Both were stunned by the grandeur. Ryu-won could not hide his surprise and excitement. Ma Jeongrok smiled warmly and invited them to sit. He said the party was not large but surely enough to fill hungry stomachs, words somewhat modest compared to reality. Ryu-won stood amazed, silently thinking that Ma Jeongrok was joking. Ryu-min smiled and called his brother over, as if to soothe his embarrassment. Ma Jeongrok laughed heartily, then invited everyone to start the meal with a friendly attitude, breaking the distance between host and guests. The banquet room door closed, creating a sense that the space became private and reserved only for special people. Ryu-min glanced back toward the door with a vigilant look. It seemed he was considering something in his heart. A close-up of Ryu-min's face revealed a thoughtful and suspicious expression. Perhaps he sensed something unusual amid this intimate atmosphere. Cohort, a charming blonde girl wearing an elegant black dress, appeared suddenly, attracting all eyes in the banquet room. Ryu-min recognized her immediately. Ryu-min was stunned, thinking silently, "Cohort, did he call her here too?" His eyes showed suspicion and confusion at Cohort's sudden appearance. A beautiful girl entered the banquet hall in dazzling light. Ryu-min was astonished to realize that the person who had just arrived was Cohort. Cohort's appearance surprised Ryu-min. He thought to himself he didn't expect Ma Jeongrok to invite her as well. Cohort stepped into the room. All eyes turned to her. Ma Jeongrok gently welcomed her. "Ah, you're here, Miss Seo." She bowed apologetically for being late due to attending a colleague actor's funeral. Ma Jeongrok sympathized and introduced her to the company's major shareholders. Cohort politely introduced herself. "Hello, I am Cohort, I am an actress." Ryu-min's younger brother, Ryu-won, recognized her. "You are the one who handed out rice cakes when you first moved here, right?" Cohort smiled in confirmation. Cohort cheerfully said, "So you are my neighbor. Nice to meet you." Inside, she was confused because Ryu-min looked very young but was a major shareholder. Ryu-won clung to Ryu-min in a daze, stammering, "Ryu-min, that person is really Cohort, right?" Ryu Min thought silently. Ah yes, when he still doesn't know the connection between Ma Jeongrok and Seorin, so he's surprised like that. Ryu Won was still overwhelmed. I'm so nervous. Is it normal for famous people to get this much attention? His eyes never leaving Arin. Seeing his brother's excited reaction to Seorin, Ryu Min thought he should also show some interest. Department head on noticed Ryu Min's attention and thought to himself that inviting Seorin was indeed a wise decision to exploit his psychology. With a polite smile, An invited everyone to take their seats and began the dinner, trying to maintain a friendly and open atmosphere. The party officially began. Everyone sat neatly around the table. The atmosphere was quiet but solemn, and everyone appeared cautious. Ryu Won whispered, Ryu Min, the meat melts right in your mouth. Ryu Min gently smiled and encouraged his brother to eat more. An proactively asked Ryu Min's opinion about the meal, revealing that he had requested the chefs to specially prepare it for this evening. Ryu Min praised the food as truly delicious, while An turned to ask Ryu Won's impression, who was still a bit awkward. Ryu Won was a little stunned, then quickly replied, his eyes sparkling, I've never eaten anything this delicious in my life. An appeared pleased with the compliment. In his memory, he recalled directing the chefs to remake all the dishes until they met his standards. While cutting the meat on his plate, An probed why Ryu Min was accompanied only by his younger brother, without parents or other relatives. Ryu Min gently answered Ma Jeongrok's question, revealing that Ryu Won was his only relative. Their parents had passed away long ago. Ma Jeongrok was embarrassed and apologized for inadvertently mentioning such a painful matter. He silently cursed himself for the thoughtless question. Ma Jeongrok blamed himself for ruining the party atmosphere just because of an uncareful question. The atmosphere at the dining table became somber. Ma Jeongrok remained silent, hoping everyone would regain comfort. No one spoke. The servers quietly brought out the desserts amid heavy silence. Seorin and Ma Jeongrok both remained silent. Ma Jeongrok took a sip of tea, determined that someone had to act to break the tense atmosphere enveloping the room. He gently called Seorin, hoping she could help ease the mood with her charm. Ma Jeongrok set down his teacup, ready to take a step to change the party's atmosphere. He turned and gently invited Seorin to step outside for a private conversation. Seorin was slightly surprised but agreed. The two left the banquet room, walking silently down the hotel corridor, preparing for an important private exchange. Ma Jeongrok called Seorin as they stepped into the hallway after the party. Arin responded with a polite attitude. Ma Jeongrok suddenly stopped, showing seriousness in his intention to call her aside for a private talk. Arin turned, gave a slight smile, and asked him about the meal, trying to keep the atmosphere light. Ma Jeongrok remained silent. Ma Jeongrok gave a faint smile, but his face clearly showed impatience. He suddenly became serious, scolding Arin for thinking she was invited just to eat and drink. Ma Jeongrok pointed out her real purpose at the party, not to attend the party, but to stir up the atmosphere. He was annoyed that Arin did not understand this. Arin apologized embarrassedly, confessing that she only thought she was a normal guest. Ma Jeongrok retorted, asking why she thought she was only invited to the party. He emphasized that this was not a simple gathering. He continued, blaming on Sangcheol for not clearly explaining to Arin the identity of Ryu Min, the person holding the largest share of the company. Arin was shocked to learn that Ryu Min was not only the main shareholder, but also a seer, someone who can see the future. Ma Jeongrok confirmed this, calling it a unique class. The blonde man stressed the reason to win Ryu Min's favor, because he can see the future, a vital advantage in the upcoming rounds. He ordered Seorin to use her appearance to please Ryu Min, making her confused and worried. The pent-up anger showed through the man's clenched fist, like a silent threat. He gave a cold smile, urging Arin to make Ryu Min fall for her at all costs. Arin protested anxiously, refusing to do that because she did not want to take advantage of anyone. The man was not gentle. He reminded her of the favor he did to help her succeed in her acting career, demanding she repay with obedience. He continued ordering to create a positive atmosphere for Ryu Min at any cost. Arin could only remain silent, her eyes heavy with burden. When she did not answer, he harshly shouted. Arin reluctantly replied, "Yes, sir." He ended the conversation with a warning that he would monitor all her actions. Arin could only bow her head, reluctantly complying. In the banquet room, Ryu Min sat with his younger brother and another man in a somber atmosphere, unaware of the schemes swirling around them. Ma Jeongrok and Seorin entered the banquet room, pretending they were late due to discussing work, hiding the true purpose behind their meeting. With a forced smile, Ma Jeonggrak suggested the group move to another location after dinner to continue the plan to approach the target. Ryu Min and Ryu Won stepped out just as they met Seo Arin. Arin was worried while Ma Jeonggrak quietly observed her reaction. Ma Jeonggrak began to get annoyed seeing Seo Arin hesitate and not act according to the assigned instructions. Ryu Won called out to Seo Arin while she was still confused. She startled and responded, unsure what to do. Ryu Won showed great admiration for Arin, complimenting that she was even more beautiful in person than in photos, and asked to take a picture together. Seo Arin smiled and agreed. Her natural friendliness excited Ryu Won. While everyone was interacting happily, Ma Jeonggrak quietly took out his phone, preparing to adjust the plan. Seo Arin received a message and opened her phone to read it, her expression changing as she read the new content. Message from Ma Jeonggrak: "We are changing targets. Approach the younger brother first," signaling a turning point in the strategy to approach Ryu Min. Seo Arin looked at the phone screen and sighed inwardly. She felt guilty being forced to approach an innocent fan, Ryu Won, just to extract information. Ryu Min sensed a gaze from behind and glanced towards Seo Arin, who was standing hesitantly, uncertain about the task assigned to her. The gray-haired young man smiled confidently. He believed that if Seo Arin won over Ryu Won, then Ryu Min, the older brother, would also be easily persuaded to reveal important information about the next round. He opened the door to a luxurious room and invited the group inside. This was a private room reserved for extremely important guests, fully equipped with food, drinks, and music. Everyone entered the lavish red room, designed with convenience and luxury, as if to serve his seduction plan. Ryu Won, Ryu Min's younger brother, appeared embarrassed when drinks were mentioned, quickly saying he was still in middle school. The gray-haired man just smiled and told him he could have something else to drink. He turned and ordered on Sangcheol to prepare a special VVIP meal set and drinks specifically for Ryu Won. Department head On calmly responded. The door closed behind them, marking that the group had entered a private space where the plan began to be implemented. The atmosphere started to become tense as Ryu Min quietly observed Seo Arin's attitude and seemed to be making his own plans. Ryu Min suddenly called Seo Arin and asked her to go outside to take pictures with Ryu Won. She nodded in agreement, unaware of Ryu Min's true intentions. Seo Arin looked at Ryu Won, silently following him out of the room at Ryu Min's request. Her eyes showed a hint of hesitation, while Ryu Won still appeared trusting and innocent. As soon as the door closed, Ryu Min stood upright, looked directly at Ma Jeonggrak and called his name in a serious tone, "Mr. Ma." Without giving the other party a chance to react, Ryu Min coldly questioned, "Do you think I'm an idiot?" His eyes flashed with anger and caution. Ma Jeonggrak forced a smile, hiding his embarrassment behind a calm exterior. He did not expect to be exposed by Ryu Min so quickly. Ryu Min continued to expose him. "I am a seer. Do you think I don't know about the conversation between you and Seo Arin?" He used his ability to see the future to intimidate the other party. Ma Jeonggrak remained silent. Ryu Min crossed his arms, his cold eyes asking, "A man like you, can I do business with you?" Ryu Min stepped forward, his voice deep and firm. "Mr. Ma, you are not allowed to hide anything from me."